Good morning, garden friends. Today we are going to be working on two things. I'm going to be getting the gravel moved from out of this bed because I'm going to be using this area to get my bobos. I got two heirloom roses. That'll be here, I think, like the first week in April, these two here. But I want to be able to get this gravel out of here so we can start getting things in the ground. Like I said, we're doing two things. Kevin has gone to the lumber place to get the wood that's needed to build the pergola. So while he's doing that, I'm going to start moving some of this gravel out of here. It's a little chilly today, so I figured, doing some physical work will end up warming me up. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, as I had stated before, this gravel we're going to actually move into another area over by the bird sanctuary to build, that up, because I do have some spots that have settled in that area. So we're going to be able to reuse this. Now, while I did try to get all of the creeping Jenny out of here, I see that there are still some little patches in here. I'll try to get those up, but if not, where we're going to be putting this gravel, I don't mind if it comes up. And then it's more of a shaded area. So let's see how this goes. The good thing is the ground is moist because we did have some rain. But I think I'm just going to use my shovel and just start scooping this up. Yeah, I can already see the blocking fabric here. Now, I think part of the dilemma is because I have some plants that are growing in here that have attached. Let me see if I start over here. What I might do, because this is physical, is try to get most of it out of here and then end up putting soil in here. At least with some of the gravel, it allow for drainage too, but I'm going to try to get most of it up. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a lot. Like I said, you can have the best laid plans, but then when you want to make changes, you've actually made more work for yourself. Oh yeah, the cloth is right here. So this area is not too thick. All right, guys, I've gotten this far in the bed, getting this gravel moved. And guess what? I am breathing heavy. I am not going to sit here and record me breathing heavy while I do this. So I'm going to end up getting the rest of it done, and then I'll get back on when I have finished this. All right, so Kevin and started putting the brackets on that we can secure the 4x4 post to. And as you see that orange string, that is to ensure that it is square. All right, so Kevin is back from picking up the lumber. It started to rain, but it said like 50% for the state of Georgia might get rain. But we want to be able to go ahead and get these posts and the framework up today. All right, so like I said, I'm stopping with the gravel because we're going to end up focusing on pergola. And then throughout the week, I'll work on the gravel, making sure that I get that moved.
Once time with a 2x4, about yay high, just temporary. Get them somewhat plumb. Then we'll get one of the ends, do the same thing. That way it'll keep them together.
Okay. So getting the post set into the metal brackets, I'll end up having to help them to, make sure that it's nice and secure. And you won't be like putting them in all the way because you got to make sure it's level.
Just one on this side and this side. That way it can. All we're going to be able to do is worry about this side. You see that where it should be?
Right in the center?
Yeah, but
okay.
You're going to have to hold this up against the up against the pole.
Oh, okay.
And take it wherever it needs to go.
Okay, right there.
Good?
Yep.
I mean, we're not going to get it perfect.
Yeah. When we tie them together.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see how. Yeah, that'll hold for now. Okay, do the same thing with the level.
On this side.
Yeah, facing you.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Right there.
No one's put 2x4.
So I'm assuming you're going to need me to hold the one in?
Oh, not really. Just you'll need to level. It'll be easier. I'm only going to do about that high.
All right.
This will help secure and counter the weight because I'm putting the boards on the outside.
So what side? Same side?
Not yet.
Oh.
Now, I'll hold this. Come and do this.
You got it?
Yeah. And this doesn't have to be dead nuts. I just want it real close because when I put the top, that's what really, the other way.
Oh.
Yeah. That other side's going to be out too, I know.
Okay, right there.
You're taking it towards you too.
Yeah.
push it towards me.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Still look good?
Yep.
All right. Check this one more time. Yeah, it's got to go out.
The back post?
Do the same thing. Like I said, oh, that's got way this way.
Oh yeah, the top. How did that happen? Maybe you level it and I put the screws in. All right, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but he knows what he's doing. All right, so we got the post in, and then the 2x4s that are connecting it allows it to, number one, keep it secure, but then also make sure that it stays plumb. But once we end up doing the permanent, what are those, 2x8s by 12 and 10 at the top to secure it, that way it'll tie them in more securely. So, and plumb. Okay, so this is the aerial view. This is going to end up looking really nice and creating my romantic courtyard. It started raining, so we had to stop. All right, guys, so he has the post set and then the supporting beams in place. We were just calculating how many of the 2x4s we're going to need to make the covering. Guys, he says to me, you ask too many questions, and I end up interrupting him. So I'm going to try to take video of stages of completion of the process. I might sneak in getting him in there, but I just won't ask him any questions, I think. Okay, so he's starting to put the support arches on, and then that 2x2 is going across the front and this beam, so he will have something to rest the 2x4s on to make sure everything is lined up for him. All right, so he is starting to put the first level of the cross boards on. So it is coming together very, very nicely. And having that that strip that he has there, since we end up doing all of our own work, it just makes it a whole lot easier for him being a one-man show. Mr. Tibbs is just so creative. Okay, he's putting the final pieces of the first crossboard on. I'm really happy with how this is going to look. And then once he gets the remaining arches on and the top rungs, this is going to look really nice. And it'll allow me to start getting the courtyard cleaned up and my plants all around. I still got to get the gravel on that side because we're going to move that raised bed where I have my heirloom rose and then my 2 thrift roses. I'm going to move those guys because that's going to be like my cut flower raised bed. So I'm really excited. Right, so he has the top layer finished, the support arches up. He's actually in the garage cutting down the second layer that goes on top of the pergola. And then the last part that he has to do is fill in the concrete where the 4 posts are to have it leveled off, and then I'll be able So he has all of the second layer crossboards up. I'm so loving this. This is looking really nice. And what he ended up doing was went ahead and got the concrete filled in where he had put the post. And now what he's doing is he's going to build a casing cap around the bottom of the post. So once he gets that done, and then he's going to be capping off the edges across the top here. Let me show you. Where the rungs are, he's capping those off so you cannot see the rungs. And then this will be finished, and then I can start getting the courtyard cleaned up and get all those weeds that are growing in there out, and put a fresh coat of the stain on here, and then start getting it set up. I'm still working on the gravel area here, but the goal is to have that done and then get it filled with dirt so that I can get my plants all planted in here, get my raised bed moved in here, because that's going to be my cut flower bed. So everything's coming along really nicely. All right, so he is almost done with the pergola, but it looks so nice. The last thing that he has to do is put the caps on each of the posts, and this will be finished. We've been really busy getting everything on this pergola completed. A couple things that I end up getting done. As I told you guys, it was taking me forever to get the gravel moved. Don't mind those pieces, he'll be cleaning that up. But we actually hired a young man to finish getting the gravel out for us, leaving that there because this is where our drain is that leads from the opening from the patio, and then drainage from the hill. But we're gonna leave the gravel there so that stays protected, but got a lot of the gravel out here. And I was thinking to remove the cloth, but because we deal with this Bermuda grass that seems to come up through everything, I'm just gonna leave it. But we're gonna be getting the dirt filled in, and then me start planting up some plants. This is looking so nice. I'm loving it. As you can see, we got all the gravel to where I want it. We're not moving that. We're gonna leave that, but we're gonna build something there to cap that off. But we got this side of all the gravel moved. I should say our helper, and then this side. And then what we did was we moved the raised bed here. Like I said, this is going to be my cut flower bed. And I think it'll look really nice and add that intimacy and color. But then I'm also going to put this rose in the center of the bed, and then blend with flowers and what have you. So that'll be something that I do afterwards, because I think I want to be able to get the bed filled with the dirt, my plants planted, before we start cleaning the patio and getting it painted, just so no dirt or anything gets on there. All right, guys, it is completed. I am so happy with how this has turned out. So let me turn the camera around and show you guys what it looks like. Now we still got like some garden stuff because I still have the beds to get the soil in and get those planted up, but it is coming together so very nicely. So let me turn my phone around and show you guys the Courtyard Pergola. Okay, does that not look nice? The detail that is on here, and then once we get the raised bed filled, that's just going to end up adding so much romance, especially with what I'm going to be putting there. And then my two jasminas are going to be on this side because this side gets more of the sun, so that I can train it to climb up the pergola. But doesn't that look so nice? And like I said, I'm gonna get the beds finished before we do the floor, just so I'm not tracking dirt over a newly stained courtyard. And then look guys, look at how nicely the caps look on these, on all four of the post. This turned out really, really nice. And here's the view from the top of it. He just has it looking so nice and clean when he does something. So we have decided that we're gonna leave it its natural color and let it age, because I'm liking how it looks up in the secret garden. Here's another view from underneath. You know, it is gonna let enough lighting in, but not be scorching us like it normally does. Having this with us sitting out here, before we would have to put up our pop-up tent. Now having this stationary, beautiful pergola here, reduce party planning time. So I am really happy, like I said, with how this turned out. This is the completion of the pergola. Stay tuned because I'm going to be working on getting the beds filled with the suggestions that individuals had provided, like lavender, denim and lace, hydrangeas, roses. I think I got some hyssop. So it is going to be a beautiful courtyard. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And if you enjoy my content, if you enjoy the projects that we end up working on, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel because it helps me know that I am focused on the right things.